It's a process where you educate yourself and have discussions about your money, about investing, about what's happening in the economic situation in the country.
There is no starting point. Everyone wants to do it.
Yeah.
But where do you really start? Why isn't this taught to us in school? Why isn't this taught to us in college, in university?
Personal finance is called personal because it's for them.
Yeah.
And it will not be the same for anybody else.
I mean, you are literally spending all your time and effort earning this money
And then giving it away.
and then you're just entrusting it to somebody without any knowledge of what's happening to it.
And you'll get hooked because it's your money. And it's going to grow and you're going to see the result and you're going to be like, hey, I want to make more.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sayali.
Hi, I'm Niyati.
And welcome to the Finance Happy Hour with FinCocktail.
So today is going to be our last episode from this season. And we wanted to touch upon something which I think is very sort of neglected in the country, but yet very important, and that's financial literacy. And this is something that we talk about regularly on our page on Instagram. And this is how we set out on our journey to sort of demystify finance in order to make people more financially literate. So, Sally, what do you think? We've just recently heard that the total number of Demat accounts in this country have crossed 100 million.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's crazy, right? I mean, see, we set out on this journey of FinCocktail trying to better financial literacy, right? Because India seemed to be very lacking in it. And funnily enough, during COVID, where people were sitting at home, there was the worldwide, not just countrywide lockdown. People actually started opening up their Demat accounts. They started opening up their, their balance sheets, their account statements. They started looking at their financial situation and realized that they needed to rectify it, which was amazing. And now, like you said, we have 10 crore Demat accounts in the country. But even if we assume that one person has one account, which is not really the case, but still, it's just 7% of the population.
Yeah.
Overall. We still have a long way to go.
Yeah. In the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
there's so much more potential
100%.
for the Indian market to grow if everyone just started their investment journey by investing a small amount.
Small amounts. I agree. And we're saying that, acha, theek hai, it's 10 crores, 100 million mark, etc. But how many of them are really actively investing? Those are just number of Demat accounts in India.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
how many are multiple? How many are
actively trading?
Yeah.
How many even invest in the markets without having a Demat account?
Yes.
Because you can do that these days if you just have mutual funds as a part of your portfolio. You don't typically need a Demat account.
Correct. Absolutely. But also there's still the word financial literacy also still applies here, because a lot of these people who just opened Demat accounts in the lockdown were like, acha, you know what? Want to make quick money. That's not it. Investing is a journey. It's a process where you educate yourself and have discussions about your money, about investing, about what's happening in the economic situation in the country, about what's happening in the financial markets. It's a larger discussion that I think we've just started beginning to have.
Yeah, it's just the tip of the iceberg, and we have so much more potential, I think. But what I feel really, really sad about is the fact that financial literacy is something which is not taken very seriously in this country.
Yeah.
It's not a conversation that you can have openly with your friends, your family, even your parents,
Oh, yeah.
At a younger age, you're not comfortable talking about money with your parents, and they aren't comfortable discussing it with you either. They don't want to tell you how much they make. I mean, I probably exactly don't know how much my parents make till this day. Because it's a conversation that is not very easily had. Even in schools, like, they'll teach you all sorts of math and science and everything. But like financial literacy is something which is not even in consideration.
Correct.
Even when you grow up and you go to colleges and universities and you study business, you study finance, you study accounting, you study topics related to finance. But personal finance
not so much.
I don't think people really go on that journey of explaining what to do with your first paycheck, or how do you consistently invest, how do you grow your portfolio. These are things that are left up to people to sort of figure out on their own.
I forget, like, matlab, these are still bigger questions. People don't even know what a Form 16 is.
Yeah.
Like, matlab, इतने बड़े colleges में जाके you become whatever, like, huge engineer, then you do your MBA, big college, amazing placement, 24 lakh CTC. They don't even know the difference between a CTC and in-hand salary.
Yeah.
That you're not going to get, 2 lakh rupees a month just because you have a 24 lakh CTC package.
Yeah.
It's baffling to me.
It's baffling, and there's no judgment. Like, I don't blame them.
Not at
because
all.
when I first got my job and I had to figure out all the different nuances of my paycheck, HRA, and then this LTA, and then this tax and that tax, and all these different things, I had to learn from scratch. I was lucky enough to have supportive friends whom I could even discuss my paycheck with.
100%.
At my workplace. But not everybody has that. It's not a conversation that you can have easily with your colleagues. That can you to understand your paycheck, you probably need to show it to them.
Exactly.
And then you're not
decode
comfortable
it
enough doing that.
Yeah.
So
I agree. Conversations about money, I think, still are a big taboo, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I said this in the first episode, but money is always looked at think about it even in Bollywood. This big villain will have lots of money, big car, some big suit, and will have the latest phone, will be smoking, will be drinking.
Yeah.
And the poor hero will be doing mehnat from some middle class family. And I'm like, why is money portrayed as evil? Yes, I agree. Money can have the ability to corrupt. But I'm saying you require money for everything. How will you sustain yourself? And understanding the importance of growing your money is so basic that why shouldn't you teach it in schools and colleges and to everyone with whatever platform you have?
Yeah. I'm telling you, these days there are so many conversations going on with regards to managing money on your own. But people don't know where to start.
Yeah.
There is no starting point. Everyone wants to do it.
Yeah.
But where do you really start? Why isn't this taught to us in school? Why isn't this taught to us in college, in university?
Yeah. Even if you, for example, I was from commerce background, even though I have a BSc, which is funny. But so you learn accounting, you learn managerial accounting, etc. But you learn it from a company perspective.
Yeah.
You don't learn it from a personal. Right. But you can use it to apply it in your life, right?
Yeah.
Your income statement will be the same. आपका पैसा कहाँ से आया और कहाँ गया?
Correct.
And your profits essentially is money that you can spend.
Yeah.
So how much will you invest? You can make a balance sheet of your assets, your liabilities.
Absolutely.
I think it's not difficult. It's just not 2 + 2 = 4.
Yeah.
I think it's more, I love saying this and I keep saying it again and again, but I'm going to say it again. It's more art than science.
Yeah.
I think conversations about money have begun finally, I think. At a small level, they have to happen at a larger,
much larger level.
Yeah, and I love that we've started somewhere.
Yeah.
But I also think that we have to make sure that we ingrain it in every single person that personal finance is called personal because it's for them.
Yeah.
And it will not be the same for anybody else.
Yeah.
You can't say that, okay, fine, you know what, I got this tool, I downloaded this tool from this website, I'm going to put in my income, my budget, and it'll spit out a number, and that much I'm going to invest in this.
It just doesn't work that way.
It's not a calculator, there are so many aspects that you have to take into consideration.
Yeah.
That it's not going to happen like that. It is more art than science. You have to keep sort of having this discussion, especially as a family.
Yeah.
I think that is something that we need to change as a mindset.
Absolutely. And the mindset also is a lot like this, where you have a full-time job, which, you're doing, you're spending so much time and effort doing it right. You don't want to go back home and then sit and do this. That's the mindset. I talk to a lot of people who tell me that yeah, it's so boring. Yeah, now I'm just letting my dad do this.
Yeah.
Or, you know, my brother's doing this for me.
Yeah.
Or my husband's doing this for me.
So many times.
I mean, you are literally spending all your time and effort earning this money.
And then giving it away.
And then you're just entrusting it to somebody without any knowledge
Yeah.
of what's happening to it.
Yeah.
I think that baffles me, and I think that that's the mindset at the ground level which needs to change. Because, you know, if you don't change that, you know, thought process, then you're never really going to be interested enough
Correct.
to sort of understand personal finance,
Correct.
understand what your income statement is, understand your expenses, understand how much you can actually save.
Correct. I agree. And a lot of people also use this as an excuse, right? That, math is not my strong suit, or I don't understand numbers, so I don't pay attention to my finances, or I don't pay attention to my, investment portfolio. It's not.
It's not complicated
difficult.
math.
Everybody's done third grade math, which, you can sort of get away with.
And these days, you have professionals to do this for you as well.
100%. And there are always options. Like, there are mutual funds where professionals do it for you.
Yeah.
You can look for vanilla assets. You just need to know where your
Arey, kuch
hard
nahi to
money
index
is going.
funds bhi to hai na, where you don't have to think only okay, what is happening.
I agree.
So it's just about the mentality, the thought
Correct.
process, and the mindset, which essentially needs to change at the ground level.
Correct.
And that can only happen with financial literacy.
Correct. I agree. And I think financial literacy can only move ahead with conversations. And I think, chalo, ghar pe, you have generational differences, and that may take a lot longer to sort of change, to have that discussion with your parents or, your in-laws or your grandparents. But let's start changing it at dinner tables, with your friends. Because I think with friends, we discuss so many things, we learn so many things. So we're much more open with our friends. We're less judgmental, we're less sort of, we're less scared of, talking about our fears with them.
Yeah.
I think talking about our fear about money or learning from them is the best way to start.
Absolutely.
If you have one person in your friend circle who invests or who handles their own personal finances, start talking to them about it.
Yeah.
Just take 5 minutes out of the day and read a random, article on InShorts about it.
Yeah.
The first step is super, super easy, and then you'll get hooked because it's your money. And it's going to grow, and you're going to see the result, and you're going to be like, hey, I want to make more.
Yeah. That's what I said in the first episode, right?
Yeah.
That I saw my portfolio after years. I mean, obviously I reviewed it, but like the number that it had reached to after a certain number of 5 or 7 years, I think, I was baffled myself. That I'm not investing some super normal amounts every month.
Itna ho gaya.
But yet my portfolio had grown to a sizable amount.
Yeah. It's amusing to me that people don't understand that the amount of mehnat that they do to earn their living, they don't have to do that much.
Yeah, uska 20%, 30% effort also if you take.
Exactly.
And just sort of put in that effort into managing your personal finances,
it'll give you
you'll be way better off.
It'll give you a tenfold return.
Yeah, probably in the long term,
100%.
over I would say 8-10 years,
Correct.
12 years, you'd get 10x.
Correct. I agree. And I was actually having this conversation with my grandmother because last year my grandfather passed away, and she moved in to Bombay near us. And I was talking to my mom and everything, and my Aji was like, you know what, Azaba's pension is not transferred to my account yet. I said, 1 second, excuse me? I said, you are 84 years old. Azuba was 87, may his soul rest in peace, when he passed away. And he has not worked since he was 60 years old.
Yeah.
And my grandmother's still getting paid a particular amount in pension.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen for us.
That's 100% not happening.
He was in the civil services, and pension was a big thing at that time.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen to us. Nobody's going to take care of us in our retirement.
Absolutely.
If, heaven lets us sort of retire at any point in time.
Yeah. It's also a generational difference, I believe. I don't think that I would want to rely on my children or my child to take care of me.
Correct.
I would want to have all that sorted in the first place.
Correct.
I know that my parents, unlike a lot of other parents their age, are very, very independent financially, and I know that they're not going to be depending on me
Correct.
to take care of them financially.
Correct.
Emotionally, yes.
Of course.
You know,
Yeah.
you're always going to be there for your parents.
Yeah.
But financially, you're not going to be obligated to do that, and I wouldn't want to pass on that obligation to my children as well.
Correct. I guess that's the generational shift in terms of what they expect from us and we expect from our children.
Yeah.
The independence that they have taught us.
Yeah.
So now that independence is going to flow through all the way till whenever we are, alive.
Absolutely.
And with apparently people living longer, we have to take care of ourselves longer.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure that we have that kind of corpus. So we don't have to stress like, chalo, yes, a lot of people say that, oh, I want to work forever, this, that. I agree, but work at that age in life for whatever you want.
Not for money.
Yes, not to sustain yourself.
Yeah.
Matlab, monthly grocery, if you're still fighting for, what's the point? What have you done all your life?
Yeah.
That's the situation. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to stop us here because we can keep going on and on and on about this because this is literally the thing that is the closest to our hearts. So I think that's it. This was our first season of our podcast. Tell us what you thought about it. Tell us what you liked, you didn't like, you want us to improve in the comments, in our DMs, however you'd like.
And tell us what you want to know more about in season 2 of the Finance Happy Hour with FinCocktail.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and we'll see you soon.